There was a season in my life where everything seemed to have fallen apart. The job I thought was secure disappeared overnight. Relationships I thought were unbreakable and we'd be friends forever broke. Dreams I had fought for years seemed to have started slipping through my fingers. And if I'm being honest, it felt like life wasn't just closing doors, rather slamming them in my face. I remember standing in my living room looking at the wall, because that's what you do when you stressed. No TV, no music, no nothing, just you and the wall. And I was thinking, is this what failure feels like? Is this really who I am? But what I couldn't see then and fully understand now is that even when it looks like everything is falling apart, underneath the surface, something is growing. Ooh, we got some good news today. Quietly, but relentlessly growing. Because the thing about growth is things grow downward before they grow upward. The gravitropic nature of something that is growing is saying that it has to establish roots before you see the fruits. And you might be there right now. Your roots are pushing deeper into the soil and you're wondering if the tree is ever gonna show up. But today's message isn't about avoiding hard times. No. It's about uncovering the hidden treasure in them, the gifts you can't always see when you're standing in the middle of the storm. This one right here isn't for everyone. But if you're walking through a season that feels heavy, uncertain, or broken, I've made this video for you. We often think of setbacks as endings, but what if they're actually beginnings? Imagine a farmer in the winter. On the surface, the fields look barren, dead, lifeless, but beneath the frozen ground, seeds are waiting, growing roots, and preparing. That's what tough seasons in life are like. It's not death, it's deep preparation. And I want you to hear me, that sometimes life clears your path not to punish you, but to prepare you for the weight of what you've asked for. So with that in mind, I think a healthy question to ask the next time life strips away the familiar is simply, is this loss or is this planting? Because the seeds of your next season are often buried in the soil of your current struggle. And here's the hard truth. Pain becomes paralyzing when we believe it's pointless. But the real breakthrough begins when we change the story we're telling ourselves. A couple years back, after a massive professional setback, I had two choices. Frame the season as a failure or frame it as a refining fire. And every day I woke up in that season, I was presented with that choice. And the thing is, whenever I chose the second story, something began to shift. Because I stopped focusing on that which was taken from me, victim mentality, and started focusing on what could be built from it, winner mentality. And whenever you switch from the victim mentality to the winner mentality, you're gonna notice opportunities, growth, and doors opening that you could have never predicted. Your mindset isn't just commentary on your life, it's the steering wheel for it. So I ask you, what story are you telling about your pain? Is there a better, more hopeful story that you could tell? Your answer shapes your future. There are some hidden gifts that struggle brings. Struggle strips away the noise. It peels back the very layers we thought we needed in order to survive. And hidden underneath are gifts. Gifts that will change your life if you let them. The first gift is resilience. You can't download resilience from a podcast. You can't read resilience in a book. Resilience is forged one way, through the fire. And every time you get back up after being knocked down, you're not just surviving, you're becoming something stronger. The next gift is self-awareness. Tough seasons force reflection. When life slows you down or forces you to pivot, it gives you the rare chance to actually meet yourself. It gives you the opportunity to ask, well, what actually matters to me? What am I doing out of obligation and not conviction? Gift 3 is deeper connections. Pain has a strange way of making us real. We drop the mask, we stop pretending, we let others see us in a way that is honest. And that authenticity births real, meaningful relationships. Some of the deepest friendships, partnerships, and soul connections are birthed not in success, but shared in the struggle. Remember, growth doesn't scream, it whispers. It's found in the quiet moments, the gritty prayers, and the stubborn steps you take forward when no one's watching. So now that we know the gifts the struggle bring, what are some practical steps to keep moving forward? When the storm is raging, you don't need grand plans. You need small steps. Here's how to keep walking. Number 1, build your circle. You need people around you who will hold your arms up when you can't hold yourself up. Find your people. Lean into those relationships. And I'm specifically talking about the ones that breathe life into you, not the ones that drain you. So who's in your corner and who might need to be moved out of the inner circle? Number 2, prioritize soul care, not just self-care. Self-care is great. It's important. But soul care is different. I consider soul care the rest for the deeper parts of you. Prayer, journaling, meaningful conversations, reflections, faith. Distractions will numb you, but soul care will restore you. Number 3, keep a gratitude in the grit journal. Every day, find one thing to be grateful for, even if it's the breath in your lungs or a glimmer of hope in your situation. Because while gratitude doesn't erase the grit, it empowers you to endure it. Another thing for you to remember is progress isn't loud in the hard seasons of life. It's quiet, it's sacred, it's showing up one more time. There's a shift that begins to change everything. And that shift is in seeing the bigger picture. The seasons that hurt the most are preparing you for the stages you prayed for. The oak tree stands because its roots grew deep during the storms. The diamond shines because it endured and survived unimaginable pressure. The mountain climber reaches the summit not just because it conquered the peaks, but also the valleys. Your storm isn't breaking you, it's building you. And that delay, it might be protection. That heartbreak, it might be realignment. That loss, it might be the seeds of something your future self will one day thank you for. Imagine standing in a vast field in the middle of winter. The ground is frozen, the trees are bare. Everything looks dead. You walk across the field and all you see is gray skies and dirt beneath you. You begin to think to yourself, nothing is happening. This place is empty. It's over. But beneath the surface, where you can't see, something extraordinary is happening. Seeds are buried deep, unseen by the world. The roots are stretching and growing, preparing to break through the soil when the timing is right. You just can't see it yet. And here's the thing about seeds, by the way. They do their most important growing when nobody's watching. In the right season, what once looked like a barren wasteland will explode into color, explode into life, explode into something truly breathtaking. You are that field. Right now, you might feel buried. Right now, you might feel overlooked. Right now, you might feel as though nothing is working. But you're not buried. You're planted. My favorite book says, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that brings forth his fruit in his season. His leaf will not wither, and whatever he touches is going to prosper. And I'ma say it like this. In the right time, the time that's already been prepared for you, you're going to bloom in ways you never could have imagined. So don't lose heart. Keep tending to your soul. Keep believing in the unseen growth. Keep walking by faith and not by sight. Because even in the seasons that feel cold and barren, life is working underneath it all. Your breakthrough isn't just possible, it's already on the way. And I leave you with this. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Dare to ask, what is this trying to grow in me? Because somewhere buried inside the mess you're standing in are gifts waiting to be unwrapped. And the best chapters of your story haven't even been written yet. And I'm gonna take that for myself. Always remember that growth is a journey, it's not a destination. I'm in it with you, and I'll see you on the next one.